Okay, the first part, the initials we have learned in lesson 1. Okay, let's make a quick review. Please read it together. Bo, po, lo, fo, de, te, ne, le, ge, ke, he. Okay, so this is the initials we learned in last lesson. And we got finals, right? We got finals here. So also let's read together quickly. A, wo, i, u, ü, I, a, ao, o, an, en, in, ang, eng, in, on. Okay, for this one, let's read on the different tones, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. And pay attention to the fourth tone. The pronunciation changed a little bit. When you read under the fourth tone, open your mouth a little bit wider. Okay, let's read together. R. Okay, this is the finals. And then we learned tones about Chinese, right? In last lesson, we learned that the tones are one of the features of Chinese language, right? And there are in total 4 tones in Chinese language. And here we got the first tone, 一声, the second tone, 二声, the third tone, 三声, and the fourth tone, 四声. And each tone got its a tone mark, written like this. So here we got an example, initials, m, finals, a, and they spell together, right? They spell together, and under different tones. So here we got ma, 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 ma. Okay, and different tones may have different meanings. So that's why tones are so important in Chinese, right? This is the way we learned in last lesson. And here we got Pinyin, Pinyin. So Pinyin literally means like combinations. Pinyin means combinations, which means like a kind of spelling of sounds, right? Kind of spelling of sounds or phonemes. Okay, so here we got Pinyin, initials plus finals and plus tones. And we learned there are 3 parts in a Pinyin, right? A Pinyin as a whole, it can be divided into 3 different parts. It can be divided into 3 smaller parts. And each part is initial, final, and tones, right? And they together makes a combination. It's a Pinyin syllable. And usually a Pinyin syllable has its own Chinese character. Okay, so here we got example, initials, the, finals, a, and under the fourth tone, so makes da, da, and here is the character. Okay, so this is the Pinyin. Okay, and now let's do a practice. First about initials, and listen and choose the Pinyin syllable you hear. So you can see in each pair, there's the only difference between the two is the initial, right? So for example, this one, bo and po, right? So the only difference between these like 2 units is the initial. So please listen carefully and choose which one you hear, okay? Okay, now let's begin. Po, 杯，丁，摊，哭，该，后，夫，哩，能， mu. Now, okay, so let's check whether you get the correct answer. So it's in this way. So the one in red, so it's the one I read just now. Okay, so the red one in each pair, the red one in each pair is what I read just now. So did you get the correct answer? Okay, so let's read again both one so we can make a comparison. Okay, so for the first one, this one is 波坡杯胚丁听单摊咕哭该开否吼夫呼你哩囔啷mu nu mau now. Okay, so this is the first practice about initials, and let's move to finals. So similarly, like you can see, there are several pairs. In each pair, there are 2 units, and the only difference between the two, like mineral units, is the finals. Okay, you can see like more. So you can see the only difference between them are the finals. So please listen carefully and choose which final you hear. Okay, so which pinyin syllable you hear. It's about finals, so please focus on finals. Okay, now let's begin. Mo, fu, ke, tang,干冰女分龙康low may. Okay, let's check whether you got the correct answer. Okay, so the red one in each pair is what I read just now. So did you get the correct one? Okay, now let's read again the both unit in each pair so we can make a comparison between different finals. Okay, so let's read all. Mo, me, fo, fu, ku, ke, tan, tang, gan, gang,冰冰咪女分风冷龙康空捞楼麦may. Okay, so this is the practice on finals. And last one, let's have a practice on tones. So you can see there's like a pinyin syllable, but it's uncompleted, right? We say like in a pinyin syllable, there should be 3 parts: initial, final, and tones. So tones are necessary for a pinyin syllable. Okay, so you can see these all the pinyin syllable unfinished because there are lack of tones, right? There's no tones. So now please listen carefully, and you write which tone I read. Okay, so please finish each pinyin, listen carefully and write which tone I read. Okay, and now let's make a quick review on the 4 tones. For example, the first one, this is initials m, finals a, and if we read under all the 4 tones, it makes ma, 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 right? Respectively, first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. Again, ma, 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 ma. Okay, so these are all the 4 tones. Okay, now listen carefully and write down which tone you hear. Okay, so focus on tones. Let's begin. Ma, ma, 痛，痛，铝，铝，白，白，坡，坡，讽，讽。Okay, so each one I read 2 times, right? Because tones may be a little bit challenging to us, right? Okay, so let's show the answers. So the first one is second tone, right? Ma, ma. So for second tone, it's like a upcoming, right? It's a upcoming tone. So from a lower beginning, from a lower point to a higher point, right? So it's like a ma, ma. The second one, tone, the fourth tone. So the fourth tone is on, right, opposite. It's opposite to the second tone. So it's from a higher point, from a higher pitch to a lower one, right? So like tone from the beginning point is rather high, right? And then suddenly make it down. So it's like tone, tone. Okay, the third one, 铝, 铝. So the lowest tone is like the third tone. Okay, so like 铝, so you really low down your pitch, your voice, and 铝, 铝. You even make yourself a little bit uncomfortable when you read the third tone because it's rather low. Okay, so the beginning point is rather low, and then make it lower down, a little bit lower down, and then a little bit up, a little bit up. But what's the most important in the third tone is the first half part. So you make it down first. Okay, so like 铝, 铝. Okay, next one, still second tone. 白 is upcoming, right? From a lower point to a higher point. 白. And the first one, and the next one, 坡, 坡. Maybe the first tone is maybe easiest because only the first tone is high and level. So it's high, it's the highest tone. So, and it's very level. So 坡, the beginning point and the finishing point, ending point, they are on the same level, right? And it's very high. 坡. Okay, the last one, 讽, the third tone. So you can feel by yourself, 讽 is rather low. Okay. Okay, so this is the first part of the tones practice. Let's make another group. Okay, let's make another group. Okay, listen carefully and then add the tones for each pinyin syllable. Let's begin. 顾, 顾, 你, 你, 卡, 卡, 陪, 陪, 汉, 汉, 丁, 丁. Okay, so maybe for this group you got maybe better answers, right? So you gradually you will get used to different tones. Okay, let's show the answers. And did you write the correct one? Okay, the first one, 雾 is a fourth tone, right? From a rather high beginning point and then suddenly lower down, right? 雾, 雾. And the next one, second tone, it's an upcoming tone, right? Beginning point is lower and then we suddenly make it upcoming, right? 你, 你. Okay, next one, 卡. So it's the lowest one, third tone. So there's like a first the beginning point is already rather low and then make it a little bit lower than the beginning point. 卡. And then there's like a turning point. There's a turning point, a little bit up, a little bit up. Okay, 卡. Next one, 陪, 陪, second tone, and 汉, fourth tone, and the last one, 丁 is the highest, right? So it's rather high and flight. It's very high and flight, so it's kind of level. It's kind of level. The beginning point and ending point, they are on the same level. So it's very high and flat. Ding, ding. Okay, so this is the practice. Okay, for lesson 1, it's about the pronunciation. Okay, let's stop for a second and then we'll continue.